Hello? If you are watching this video right now, I want you to stop for a moment and listen very carefully. This is not a coincidence. This video is a sign that you are tired, a sign that your heart is heavy, a sign that you have been trying to control everything and it is not working. Maybe you are overthinking. Maybe you are worried about your future. Maybe something in your life is not going the way you wanted. And deep inside, you feel lost. You smile in front of people, but inside, you are fighting silent battles. And today, somehow, you found this video. That is not random. Because sometimes, when life becomes too heavy, God does not come down and speak directly. He sends you a message, through a moment, through a person, through a video, like this. And maybe today, this video is God's message for you. A message to slow down, a message to stop worrying, a message to finally let go. Because the truth is, you were never meant to carry everything alone. There is a higher power watching you, guiding you, protecting you, even when you don't see it. And today, you are going to understand something that can completely change your life. How to stop controlling everything and start trusting God. If you truly understand what I'm about to share, your stress will reduce, your heart will feel lighter, and your mind will finally find peace. So stay with me till the end, because this is not just a video. This might be the moment your life begins to change. Lesson 1. You are not in control of everything. Let me tell you something that most people don't want to accept. You are not in control of everything. You wake up every day. You plan your life. You think, I will do this. I will achieve this. Everything will go this way. But life doesn't follow your plans. Sometimes, everything goes right. But many times, things go wrong. Unexpected problems, unexpected failures, unexpected pain. And you sit there, thinking, why is this happening to me? I did everything right. I tried my best. Yes, you did your best. But here's the truth you need to understand deeply. You are responsible for your effort, but you are not in control of the result. This is where most people suffer, because they try to control outcomes. They try to control people. They try to control situations. They try to control the future. And when things don't go their way, they break. They feel anxiety. They feel stress. They feel fear. But tell me honestly, can you control time? Can you control every person in your life? Can you control every situation that will happen tomorrow? No. So why are you trying to control everything? That pressure you feel, that heaviness in your chest. That is not because life is hard. That is because you are trying to carry something. That was never yours to carry. Listen carefully. There are two parts in life. 1. What you can control. 2. What you cannot control. What you can control, your actions, your effort, your mindset, your decisions. But what you cannot control, the result, other people, timing, life's unexpected events. And when you mix these two, your life becomes chaos. This is where faith begins. You do your part with full honesty. You give your 100%. You work hard. You stay disciplined. And then you say, God, I have done everything I can. Now I leave the rest to you. That moment is the moment your mind becomes peaceful. Because now, you are not fighting life anymore. You are trusting it. Lesson 2. Surrender is not weakness. It is power. When people hear the word surrender, they feel uncomfortable. They think, if I surrender, I will lose. If I surrender, I am weak. If I surrender, I am giving up. But that is not true. Surrender is not giving up on life. Surrender is giving up the illusion that you control everything. And that is one of the strongest things a person can do. Because it is easy to control. It is easy to overthink. It is easy to worry. But it is very difficult to trust. To truly say, I don't understand what is happening, but I trust God. That requires strength. Real strength. Look at your life. How much energy do you waste every day thinking about things you cannot change? You replay situations. You imagine worst-case scenarios. You worry about tomorrow. And slowly, your mind becomes tired. Your heart becomes heavy. This is not because life is too difficult. This is because you are holding everything too tightly. Surrender means loosening your grip. It means saying, I will do my best, but I will not destroy my peace trying to control everything. And when you truly surrender, something beautiful happens. You feel calm, even in chaos. You feel peace, even in uncertainty. You feel strength, even in pain. Because now, you are not dependent only on yourself. You are connected to something greater. Understand this deeply. Surrender is not weakness. It is alignment with God's plan. You stop forcing life, and you start flowing with it. And when you do that, life becomes lighter. Your mind becomes clearer. Your heart becomes stronger. Because now, you are not carrying everything alone anymore. Lesson 3. When life breaks you, it's preparing you. There are moments in life when everything falls apart. The plans you made fail. The people you trusted leave. The things you worked for disappear. And in those moments, you feel broken. Not just a little sad, but deeply broken. You sit alone, and you ask yourself, why is this happening to me? Why is my life like this? Why is God doing this to me? And slowly, your faith starts shaking. But listen very carefully. What feels like breaking is often preparation. You see pain. God sees transformation. You see loss. God sees redirection. You see endings. God sees new beginnings. But the problem is, when you are inside the storm, you cannot see the purpose. Think about a seed. Before it becomes a tree, it has to go into darkness. It has to break open. It has to lose its old form. From the outside, it looks like it is dying. But in reality, it is growing. The same thing is happening in your life. Right now, you might feel like everything is breaking. Your plans, your confidence, your emotions. But maybe God is not destroying you. God is rebuilding you. Stronger, wiser, more patient, more powerful than before. Because the version of you that you are becoming cannot be created in comfort. It is created in struggle. It is created in pain. It is created in those nights when you feel like giving up, but you don't. Understand this deeply. God sometimes removes things from your life, not to hurt you, but to protect you. Sometimes He delays things, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Sometimes He breaks you, not to destroy you, but to rebuild you into someone you never imagined. And one day, you will look back at this painful phase, and you will realize, this was the moment that changed me. So instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, God, what are you trying to teach me? That question will change everything. Because now, you are not seeing your pain as punishment. You are seeing it as preparation. Lesson 4. God has a better plan for you. One of the hardest things to accept in life is this. Things don't always go the way you want. You make plans. You dream about your future. You imagine how everything will happen. You think, this is what I want. This is what is best for me. But life says no. Doors close. Opportunities disappear. Things don't work out. And you feel disappointed. You feel confused. Sometimes, you even feel angry at God. You think, why didn't this happen? I prayed for this. I worked for this. I wanted this so badly. But just because you want something doesn't mean it is right for you. You see your desire. God sees your destiny. You see one moment. God sees your entire life. You see what feels good now. God sees what will be good for you later. This is why. Sometimes God says no, not because He doesn't love you, but because He loves you too much to give you something that will harm you. Think about your past. There were things you really wanted, things you prayed for, but they didn't happen. At that time, you felt hurt. But now, when you look back, you feel thankful because you realize, if that had happened, my life would have been worse. That is God's plan. It doesn't always make sense in the moment, but it always makes sense in the end. Listen carefully. Rejection is not always failure. Sometimes, it is protection. Delay is not denial. Sometimes, it is preparation. Closed doors are not the end. Sometimes, they are direction. God is not ignoring you. God is guiding you. Even when you cannot see it. Even when you cannot understand it. Even when everything feels confusing. There is a bigger plan, a better plan. A plan that is designed not just for your comfort, but for your growth, your purpose, your true happiness. So when things don't go your way, instead of saying, why is this happening? Say, God, I trust your plan more than my own. That sentence is powerful because now you are not depending on your limited understanding. You are trusting infinite wisdom. And when you truly trust that, you stop forcing life. You stop chasing everything. You stop stressing about every small thing. Because deep inside, you know what is meant for you will come to you. And what is not meant for you, no matter how much you chase it, will never stay. So relax, trust, and remember, God is not late. God is not wrong. God is not ignoring you. God is working on something better, just for you. Lesson 5. God was working in silence. There are seasons in life where nothing seems to happen. You pray, but you don't see results. You work hard, but nothing changes. You wait, and wait, and wait, and slowly, a dangerous thought enters your mind. Maybe God is not listening. Maybe God forgot me. Maybe nothing will ever change. And this is the moment where most people lose their faith because they believe, if I don't see progress, nothing is happening. But listen very carefully. Just because you cannot see it does not mean God is not working. God often works in silence. No noise, no signs, no instant results. Because the most powerful changes in life happen quietly. Think about it. When a baby is growing in the womb, you don't see anything from the outside. But inside, life is forming. When a seed is planted in the soil, you don't see anything for days. But inside, roots are growing. And without roots, there can be no tree. The same thing is happening in your life. Right now, you may feel like nothing is moving. No success, no breakthrough, no big change. But deep inside, God is preparing you. He is building your patience. He is strengthening your character. He is teaching you lessons you could never learn in comfort. Because if everything came fast, you would not be ready to handle it. And God does not just want to give you success. He wants to prepare you. so you can sustain it. Understand this deeply. God's silence is not absence. God's silence is preparation. Sometimes, He removes people quietly. He closes doors quietly. He changes your path quietly, and you don't understand it in the moment. But later, everything makes sense. You realize that delay saved me, that rejection protected me, that silence prepared me. So, if you are in a silent phase right now, do not panic, do not lose hope, do not think nothing is happening. Because in the background, while you are waiting, while you are doubting, while you are questioning, God is working, arranging things, fixing things, aligning things, in ways you cannot see, in ways you cannot imagine. So instead of saying, nothing is happening in my life, start saying, God is working, even if I can't see it. That belief will give you strength to keep going. Because now, you are not depending on visible results. You are trusting in visible progress. And that is real faith. Lesson 6. God's timing is always perfect. One of the biggest reasons people suffer is timing. You want things, but you want them now. You pray, but you want instant answers. You work, but you expect quick results. And when things don't happen fast, you feel frustrated. You feel left behind. You start comparing yourself with others. You see someone else succeeding, and you think, why not me? Why is my life so slow? When will my time come? And slowly, you start losing patience. But listen carefully. Just because something is delayed does not mean it is denied. There's a difference. Delay is part of God's plan. Because God does not work according to your time. He works according to the right time. Think about it. If you got everything you wanted at the wrong time, would you be ready? Would you handle it properly? Would you appreciate it? Most of the time, the answer is no. Because timing is not just about getting something. It is about becoming the person who can handle what you receive. God is not just preparing your blessing. He is preparing you, and that takes time. Sometimes, you need more patience, more strength, more maturity, more understanding, so that when your moment comes, you don't lose it. You don't waste it. You don't destroy it. Understand this deeply. If it comes too early, it can destroy you. If it comes too late, it can disappoint you. But if it comes at the right time, it can change your life. And God knows the right time, not you. This is why sometimes you have to wait, not because you are forgotten, but because you are being prepared. Look at nature. The sun rises at the perfect time. The seasons change at the perfect time. Flowers bloom at the perfect time. Everything in nature follows perfect timing. So why do you think your life is different? Your time is also coming, but not according to your clock, according to God's clock. So stop rushing, stop comparing, stop thinking you are late. You are not late. You are on your path, and your moment will come at the perfect time. Until then, keep believing, keep working, keep trusting, and remind yourself every day, God's timing is perfect, even if I don't understand it right now. Because when your time finally comes, you will realize it was worth the wait. Lesson 7. God is testing you. There are moments in life when everything feels difficult at the same time. Nothing is working. Nothing is clear. Nothing is easy. You try, but things don't move. You pray, but answers don't come. You wait, but nothing changes. And in those moments, you start feeling weak. You start asking, why is this happening to me? Why is my life so hard? Why is God putting me through this? And sometimes, You even feel like giving up. But listen to this very carefully. What you are going through is not punishment. It is a test. Yes, God is testing you, not to break you, but to see how strong your faith really is. Because it is very easy to believe when everything is going well, when you are happy, when things are working, when life feels good. Anyone can say, I trust God. But what about when life becomes difficult? What about when you are alone? What about when you don't understand anything? What about when everything is falling apart? That is where your real faith is tested. Because true faith is not, I believe when life is easy. True faith is, I believe even when life is hard. Think about a student. A student studies for months. But how do we know if the student really learned something? Through a test. Without a test, there is no proof of growth. In the same way, life tests you, not to fail you, but to reveal you, to show you your strength, to show you your patience, to show you your trust, and most importantly, to show you your faith. Right now, maybe you are in a test of patience, a test of trust, a test of strength, a test of belief, and it feels hard, it feels uncomfortable, it feels painful. But understand this deeply. Every test in your life is preparing you for a higher level. Because God does not give heavy tests to weak people. He gives them to those who are strong enough to grow through them. So if your life feels heavy right now, it is not because you are unlucky. It is because you are being prepared for something greater. But here is the most important part. How you respond to the test decides your future. You have two choices. You can complain, lose hope, blame life, and give up. Or you can stay patient. You can stay strong. You can keep your faith. You can trust God, even when it's hard. And that choice changes everything. Because when you pass the test, you don't remain the same person. You become stronger. You become wiser. You become more peaceful. You become more powerful. And the things that once broke you will no longer affect you. Listen carefully. Tests are not here to stop you. They're here to shape you. Every difficulty you face is building something inside you. Strength, patience, discipline, faith. And these are the qualities that create a powerful life. So instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Start saying, God, I know this is a test. Give me strength to pass it. That one thought will change your mindset completely. Because now, you are not seeing your problems as pain. You are seeing them as purpose. And when you start seeing life like that, nothing can break you. Because you know, every challenge has meaning. Every struggle has a reason. Every test has a reward. So don't be afraid of difficult times. Don't run away from challenges. Don't lose faith when things get hard. Because maybe this is the moment. God is preparing you for something bigger than you ever imagined. And when you pass this test, you will look back and say, this was not the end of me. This was the making of me. Lesson 8. Believe God for the impossible. There comes a moment in life when your situation feels impossible. No solution, no clear path, no hope. You look at your life, and everything feels too big, too broken, too far gone. And deep inside, a quiet voice says, this will never change. This is not possible for me. My life will always be like this. That voice is not faith. That voice is fear. And most people live their entire lives listening to that voice. They stop dreaming. They stop believing. They stop trusting. And slowly, they accept a life much smaller than what God planned for them. But listen to this very carefully. What is impossible for you is not impossible for God. You are limited. Your strength is limited. Your knowledge is limited. Your vision is limited. But God is not limited. He can open doors you cannot see. He can create paths where there are none. He can change situations in ways you cannot imagine. And many times, what feels impossible to you today becomes your reality tomorrow. But there is one condition. You must believe, not sometimes, not when it is easy, but especially when it feels impossible. Because belief is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without belief, nothing moves. With belief, everything can change. Because let's be honest, it is easy to say believe, but when life is hard, when things are not working, when you feel broken, how do you actually believe? Let's go step by step. 1. Start with a small trust, not big faith. Most people think they need strong faith immediately, but that is not true. Faith does not start big. It starts small. You don't need to say, I believe everything will be perfect. Start with something simple. God, I don't fully understand, but I trust you a little. That is enough. Even a small belief is powerful because small belief grows day by day, moment by moment. So don't wait to feel 100% confident. Start where you are, even if your faith is weak. Start. 2. Change what you say to yourself. Your words. Create your belief. If every day you say, this is impossible, my life is finished, nothing will change, then your mind will believe it, and you will feel stuck. But if you change your words, you change your belief. Start saying, God is with me. Something good is coming. This situation can change. I trust God's plan. Even if you don't fully feel it, say it. Again and again. Because your mind listens to your words. And slowly, your fear will become faith. 3. Remember your past. Look back at your life. There were moments when you thought everything was over. You felt lost. You felt broken. You felt like nothing would change. But somehow, things got better. You survived. You grew. You moved forward. That was not luck. That was God. So, if God helped you before, why do you think He will leave you now? He didn't bring you this far to abandon you. So when you feel doubt, remind yourself, if God helped me before, He will help me again. That memory will strengthen your belief. 4. Stop trying to see everything. One of the biggest reasons people don't believe is because they want proof. They want to see how everything will happen. They want clear answers. They want guarantees. But faith does not work like that. Faith is believing before seeing. If you could see everything, you wouldn't need faith. So stop asking, how will this happen? When will this happen? What exactly will happen? Instead say, God, I don't see the way, but I trust that you have a way, and that trust will give you peace. 5. Act like you believe. Don't just say you believe, start living like you believe. If you believe something good is coming, then stop acting like everything is over. Walk with confidence. Speak with hope. Think with positivity, even in small ways, because your actions strengthen your belief, and your belief changes your reality. Faith is not about having all the answers. Faith is about trusting God without answers. You don't need to understand everything. You don't need to control everything. You don't need to see everything. You just need to believe that God is working for you. even when you cannot see it, even when you cannot feel it, even when everything feels impossible. Because what feels impossible today can become your biggest miracle tomorrow. So stop saying, "This is impossible." Start saying, "With God, nothing is impossible." And when you truly believe that, your fear will reduce, your heart will become stronger, your life will begin to change. Lesson 9. Do your best and leave the rest. There is a mistake many people make in life. They think faith means doing nothing. They think trusting God means sitting and waiting. They think giving everything to God means becoming passive. But that is not true. Real faith is not laziness. Real faith is not escape. Real faith is not saying, "God will do everything, so I will do nothing." No. Real faith says, "I will do my part with all my heart, and I will trust God with the rest." This is the balance so many people miss. Some people only work, but they never trust. So they become stressed, anxious, tired, and mentally broken. Other people only talk about faith, but they never take action. So their life never changes. But the right way, the powerful way, the spiritual way is this. Work like it depends on you. Pray like it depends on God. That is the mindset that changes a person's life. Because God gave you hands to work. God gave you a mind to think. God gave you time, energy, and ability. So you must use what God gave you. You must try. You must move. You must put in effort. You must be sincere. You must stay disciplined. But after doing all that, you must also know where your role ends. And this is where peace begins. Because your job is effort. God's job is outcome. Your job is planting. God's job is growth. Your job is obedience. God's job is timing. Your job is faithfulness. God's job is results. And when you understand this deeply, something beautiful happens inside you. You stop living with constant pressure. You stop feeling like everything depends only on you. You stop carrying the heavy burden of trying to control every result. Because now you know, I must do my best, but I do not have to carry the whole world on my shoulders. That burden belongs to God. Doing your best does not mean being perfect. It does not mean never making mistakes. It does not mean never feeling tired. It does not mean always knowing the right answer. Doing your best means being honest with your effort. It means when you pray sincerely. When you work sincerely. When you love sincerely. When you try again, you try sincerely. It means you stop cheating your own destiny. Because many people say, "I trust God." But the truth is, they're not doing their best. They delay everything. They avoid responsibility. They keep making excuses. They wait for miracles while ignoring effort. But faith without effort becomes empty words. If you want God to bless your steps, you need to take steps. If you want doors to open, you need to walk toward them. If you want a better life, you must become serious about the life God gave you. So yes, trust God deeply, but also wake up and do your part. Read, learn, work, grow, heal, speak, apply, try again, keep going. Not because you are trying to prove yourself to God, but because effort is a form of gratitude. When you use your strength well, you honor the one who gave it to you. When you use your time well, you honor the one who gave it to you. When you use your gifts well, you honor the one who placed them inside you. So doing your best is not just productivity. It is worship through responsibility. It is saying, "God, thank you for this life. I will not waste what you placed in my hands." That is powerful. This is the part where many people struggle. They can work. They can plan. They can try. But after that, they keep worrying. They keep replaying everything in their mind. Will it work? What if I fail? What if nothing changes? What if people reject me? What if this goes wrong? What if I lose? What if I am not enough? And little by little, all the peace disappears. Why? Because they did the work, but they never released the outcome. They gave effort, but they did not give their fear to God. Listen carefully. You can do the right thing and still not know what will happen next. That is life. You can pray and still wait. You can work and still be uncertain. You can love and still feel vulnerable. You can obey and still not see immediate results. And that is exactly why you must leave the rest to God. Leaving the rest means saying, God, I have done what I can do. Now I trust you with what I cannot do. That sentence can heal a tired heart. Because so much of your pain comes from this one habit. You keep trying to carry what only God can carry. You carry tomorrow. You carry people's opinions. You carry outcomes. You carry fear. You carry timing. You carry things beyond your power. And that is why your soul feels heavy. But when you leave the rest to God, your soul begins to breathe again. Because now you are no longer living as if everything depends on you. Now you are living with effort and surrender, responsibility and peace, action and trust. And that combination is powerful. If you truly live this lesson, your life will become lighter, not because problems disappear immediately, but because your relationship with problems changes. Before, every challenge made you panic. Now, every challenge becomes a place of trust. Before, uncertainty made you afraid. Now, uncertainty becomes a chance to believe. Before, delays made you doubt. Now, delays teach you patience. Before, you thought, if this does not work, everything is over. Now, you think, if this is for me, God will open the door. If it is not for me, God will guide me somewhere better. Do you see the difference? This is not weakness. This is freedom. This is spiritual maturity. This is what happens when faith becomes real. Because faith is not only crying in prayer. Faith is not only saying beautiful words. Faith is not only posting spiritual quotes. Faith becomes real. When you do your best in the day and sleep peacefully at night because you know God is in control. That is real peace. This lesson becomes even more important when life disappoints you. Because sometimes you will do your best and still the answer will be no. You will pray sincerely and still the door will close. You will work hard and still the result will not come the way you expected. In those moments, many people become bitter. They say, what was the point of trying? Why did God allow this? Why did this happen after all my effort? But listen very carefully. Your effort is never wasted when it is given to God. Even if the outcome is different, the effort still changed you. It built discipline inside you. It built patience inside you. It built strength inside you. It built character inside you. It built faith inside you. And sometimes the greatest blessing is not the thing you were asking for. Sometimes the greatest blessing is the person you became while trusting God. So even when things do not go your way, do not think your effort was useless. God sees every prayer, every tear, every attempt, every act of obedience, every moment you chose faith over fear. Nothing is wasted in God's hands. Nothing. The world only respects visible success, but God also honors unseen faithfulness. The nights you kept going, the mornings you tried again, the moments you stayed honest, The times you did the right thing when no one saw, all of that matters. And in the right time, it will bear fruit. You wake up and say, God, thank you for this day. Help me do my best today. Then through the day, you do what is in your hands. You complete your work. You learn what you need to learn. You fix what you can fix. You say what needs to be said. You make the call. You apply for the opportunity. You study the lesson. You take care of your health. You show up again. You do not sit in fear. You move with faith. And then at the end of the day, you release everything. You say, God, I gave what I had today. Where I was weak, strengthen me. Where I failed, teach me. Where I am waiting, give me peace. And what I cannot carry anymore, I place in your hands. Can you feel the peace in that? This is how a person becomes spiritually strong, not by escaping life, but by walking through life with God, step by step, burden by burden, day by day. Some of you are destroying your peace because you are obsessed with results. You check constantly, you worry constantly, you compare constantly, you panic constantly, and all this does is steal your strength. Listen, a farmer does not plant a seed and dig it up every hour to see if it is growing. The farmer plants it, waters it, protects it, and trusts the process. You must do the same with your life. Plant the effort. Water it with consistency. Protect it with faith. And trust God for the growth. Do not dig up your peace every day with worry. Do not destroy your faith with impatience. Do not keep asking for proof every 5 minutes. Some things need time. Some prayers need waiting. Some blessings grow in silence. Do your best and let God do what only God can do. Trusting God does not mean you stop working. It means you stop panicking. You still move. You still act. You still show up. You still give your best. But now, you do it with peace. Not desperation, not fear, not obsession. That changes everything. Because desperate energy is heavy. Fearful energy is unstable. Obsessive energy is exhausting. But peaceful effort is powerful. When your heart is calm, you think more clearly. When your heart is calm, you make better decisions. When your heart is calm, you stop forcing the wrong things. And that calmness comes from one deep truth. God is with me. I am not alone in this. So do not confuse faith with passivity. Faith should make you stronger, not weaker. Faith should make you calmer, not lazier. Faith should make you steadier, not careless. Real faith creates peaceful action. So stop asking, why is this happening to me? Start saying, God, I trust you with my life. Let God handle your worries. Let God handle your fears. Let God handle your timing. Let God handle your future. And you, focus on becoming stronger. Focus on becoming better. Focus on becoming peaceful. Because when you give everything to God, you don't become weak. You become free. Free from stress, free from fear, free from constant overthinking. And that freedom is the beginning of a new life. One day, everything will make sense. One day, you will look back at this moment and you will realize, this was the moment I stopped trying to control everything and started trusting God. And that was the moment everything changed. So tonight, sleep with peace. Not because all your problems are solved, but because you know God is in control. And when God is in control, you are safe. Trust, let go, believe. And remember, you are not alone. You never were. You never will be. Let God handle it.